Ladies and gentlemen, I'm IWN. This is your Smackdown review for March the 18th, 2023. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications, hit the thumbs up. Let's get at least 6-7 likes minimum for today's review. Smackdown last night was a pretty good damn show. We got one of the best Smackdown episodes of 2023 so far. Cody Rhodes kicked off the show. We got that mixed tag team match. Rey Mysterio, Dominik cutting promos at one another, continuing their feud. We got a women's tag team match that wasn't really all that, but it was somewhat okay. Charlotte Flair cut a promo on Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley came down, cut a promo on her, continuing their feud for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Got a little action between LA Knight, Xavier Woods, and Drew McIntyre and Sheamus had a banger to determine the number one contenders for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship. And Sami Zayn and Jey Uso went face to face. Everything that went down here on the channel. Be sure you go check out all the other content I have on the channel. If you missed my Monday Night Raw review or AEW Dynamite review, go check those out. Get those a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up on the stream for your SmackDown review. Let's get some likes in. Let's get some more people in here. I like to have bigger audience in here. I don't like to have short audience in the live chats. It upsets me to have shorter audience. I want to have one bigger audience. I want to have more people, more YouTubers in here. That's what I want. So if we could do that, we'll be good to go. Listen, we're going to go ahead and begin the SmackDown review because I know you guys are dying to hear my thoughts on the show, so we're going to go ahead and begin. So, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes made his entrance for the show opening promo after soaking in Cody chants. He started his promo with his usual, "What do you want to talk about?" catchphrase. He said we could start off by talking about WrestleMania. He said he has the utmost respect for Roman Reigns. That's because I didn't care about Rampage because Rampage sucked last night. Rampage was terrible. Rampage was fucking garbage. There was nothing on that show that piqued my interest, and that's why I didn't watch it. And that's why I didn't go live with the watch along. I'm not saying nothing else about Rampage. I don't want to hear the word Rampage again. He said Reigns is the best athlete in sports today, and he looks forward to beating Roman at Mania. Cody paused to soak in more cheers. He said he doesn't want to talk about somebody, but rather to somebody. Cody said he knows Kevin Owens is in the back. He wants Kevin to come out. Owens made his entrance to confront Cody. A picture-in-picture replay aired of Owens getting pretty much his ass kicked by the Bloodline. Getting his ass kicked by the Bloodline doing Kevin Owens' match against Solo. No, I said Rampage was garbage. if you listen to the audio, if you listen to my voice, you will understand what I'm saying. Anyways, Owen said he knows what this is about. They've been over this. Cody stopped and said this conversation needs 3 people. Cody called out Sami Zayn, who made his entrance to his Worlds Apart theme. Cody stood in the middle of the ring playing the role of mediator for the intervention. Cody said he's going to peel back the curtain a bit. Cody said he has a lot of respect and love for Kevin because when he walked away from WWE, he wasn't confident in leaving. Hassan, if you keep mentioning Rampage, I'm going to have to remove you from the chat, okay? I don't want to hear about Rampage. Shut your mouth about Rampage. I don't care. Leave the shit alone. Either you stop talking about Rampage or I'm going to have to kick you out of the chat, okay? I don't give a fuck about the show. The show was garbage. It was not good, okay? But some weeks Rampage is not. This week, Rampage did not deliver. It was not good. There was nothing on the show that piqued my interest, okay? So can we stop talking about Rampage? And can you let me continue my SmackDown review, please? Thank you. Because everybody wants to hear my thoughts on SmackDown. Everybody wants to know what went down on SmackDown. So listen and shut your mouth. Cody stopped and said this conversation needs 3 people. Cody called out Sami, who made his entrance to his Worlds Apart theme. Cody stood in the middle of the ring playing the role of mediator for this intervention. Cody said he's going to peel back the curtain a bit. Cody said he has a lot of respect and love for Kevin because he walked away from WWE. He wasn't confident in leaving, and it was Kevin that introduced him to friends, the Young Bucks, to get him on his feet in the Indies. Cody said that he's trying to help out a friend fix things with another friend. Sami said, has it finished, saying what he has to say. Sami said, Dave, many equal things to each other. They always to get on the same page as best friends. Sami said he doesn't understand why it is different this time. Sami whatever he was, slap him, punch him, just as long as they can get on the same page again. Kevin ignored Sami and asked Cody if he can walk away. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to remove you from the chat. This is my chat. This is my you can't just come in and say what you want. Rules in the live chat. If you can't comment, if you can't respect me, I'm going to have to remove you. I'm sorry. You're going to have to go. I might ask you to leave the chat. You're getting on nerves the last few weeks. Tired of you coming in here, speaking, mentioning shows that I don't care about. Now, if the shows were good, yeah. If you're not going to be respectful in the live chat, man, I'm going to have to remove you. I'm really going to have to remove you, man. Seriously. I'm trying to do my review right now, and you're in the chat, live chat, talking. Distracted me. I can't have you distracting me, okay? So, listen to this. If you can't listen to the SmackDown review, if you don't like what I have to say about Rampage, go watch somebody else. Since I was rudely interrupted, shall we continue the SmackDown review to everybody else that's watching? I'm going to continue the SmackDown review. Kevin says he's already said everything he had to say. See, this is why I don't like going live my reviews, because every time I go live my reviews, somebody always got to go in the live chat and say something about a show that I don't care about, a show that I'm not reviewing. If it has nothing to do with Rampage, if it has nothing to do with SmackDown, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to repeat it again. If it's SmackDown related, fine. But if it has to do with Rampage, I don't want to hear it. Okay? I don't want to hear it. Let me review my show, Hassan. I'm trying to do my SmackDown review, and you are distracting me. So hush and listen to what I have to say. Or I'm seriously gonna have to remove you from the chat. I'm serious. There are people in here that want to know my thoughts on SmackDown, that want to hear what's going on with SmackDown. You're in the chat, distracted me. I can't have you doing that. If you mention Rampage one more time, I'm kicking you out. Okay? This is a SmackDown review, not a Rampage. So listen and shut up. Sami said they've done many evil things to each other, but somehow they always find on the same page as friends. He doesn't understand why it is different this time. Sami said Kevin do whatever he wants. Slap him, punch him. Yeah, that's it. Goodbye. I've told you countless of times. I told you. Get the fuck out of my chat. Goodbye. Get out. It's just ridiculous. I'm trying to do my SmackDown review, and I got you in here mentioning Rampage. If it's not about SmackDown, I don't want to fucking hear it. If you don't want to hear about SmackDown, if you don't want to hear my thoughts on SmackDown, go watch somebody else. That goes for everybody else too. Go up here and just comments like he doesn't give a fuck about my review. Why can't everybody just listen to my review and shut up? Jesus Christ, man. I can't do shit. I can't do shit without this guy coming in here saying, Rampage. Shut the fuck up about Rampage. Nobody fucking cares. Everybody that's subscribed to my channel that are fans of WWE, they don't give a fuck about Rampage. They don't want to hear Rampage in the life. Neither do I. Let me review SmackDown and shut up. Let me do my fucking job as a YouTube content creator. You keep mentioning Rampage in the chat. You keep coming here in the chat. I'm going to report you for harassment and spamming. Like, I'm not playing this shit. I'm not putting up with this. All right. Guys, everybody else that's watching, Thank you for joining me for my SmackDown review. We're going to continue the SmackDown review. I had to boot Hassan out of the chat because he kept spamming the chat and he kept saying Rampage. It was getting on my nerves. It was getting aggravating. And thank you for the likes. Thank you to 2 people who hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Let's get some more likes in here. And subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, man. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stream those 2 games tonight. But I will be streaming 2 games tomorrow. The other 2 new games that I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. You guys are in for a surprise tomorrow. To those of you that are watching. And I could tell you one of the YouTubers that's not going to be there is Hassan, because I'm going to make sure he stays kicked out until he learns his lesson. Because I told him countless of times to stop mentioning Rampage in the live chat, and he still does it. Where's my YouTube moderators when I need them? Really? Where are they? Seriously, man. Jesus Christ. You tell somebody to do something, they don't darn listen. They still do it. Anyways. Moving on, continuing the SmackDown review now. As I was saying, guys, to those of you that were actually listening, you can communicate with one another, but don't chat with me when I'm trying to review SmackDown, okay? Because it distracts me. Now, we're going to continue the SmackDown review now. Kevin said he's already said everything he had to say. Sami said he hasn't finished saying what he has to say. Sami said they've done many evil things to each other, but somehow they always find a way to get on the same page as best friends. So then Sami said he doesn't understand why it is difficult or different this time. Sami said Kevin can do whatever he wants. Slap him, punch him, yell at him. Just as long as they can get on the same page again. Kevin ignored Sami and asked Cody if he can walk away. Cody said they are in the service industry and they have to give people what they want. Cody said Kevin needs to give him. I swear to God, if Hassan says something else, I'm reporting him, man. I'm reporting him to YouTube if he mentions Rampage again. If he spams the chat again, somebody, to those of you that's watching, if Hassan spams the chat again, let me know, and I'll report him. Cody said Kevin Owens needs to give him Sami, Michael Cole, Wayne Barrett, the fans. He needs to give everyone what they want. Sami and Kevin back as a team. Sami said they can do something remarkable. The ones that take down the ones, meaning the bloodlines. Jimmy, Jay, Soul Sikoa, and Roman Reigns. Well, mainly the Usos. Their main focus is on the Usos. Okay. But if you mention Rampage again, if you spam the chat again, I'm going to have to report you, man. I'll give you another chance. I will give you another chance, okay? You're lucky I'm letting you stay in here right now. You really are. Sami said they don't even have to be friends. They just need to be a team. Kevin said he knows because Sami has said that for weeks. Kevin said he understands no friends part. But why would he want to fight for someone who doesn't want to be a friend? Kevin said he's all set. Kevin shoved the mic to Cody and walked up the ramp. Sami was frozen as Kevin left. Michael Cole hyped Sami Zayn confronting Jey Uso later in the show. Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio were backstage heading to the ring for a mixed tag team match. This was one of the best segments of the entire show. I really enjoyed this segment, man. I really enjoyed this segment. This was a strong, logical opening segment to set the wheels in motion to the totally expected reunion of Sami and Kevin as best friends. Cody actually did a good job as mediator to the intervention, and his involvement makes sense given how Cody has been putting himself in Sami's orbit in recent weeks because of Sami and Kevin Owens' real life friendship. Their interactions with each other seem natural, which makes it easier to connect with. I like the added drama of Sami pulling back on wanting to be Kevin's friend because it allows Kevin's apprehension to make sense. By the way, I'm filling in for Jason Powell. No, I'm just joking. I'm messing around with you guys. I don't even know who that guy is. No one said Jason Powell. I don't even know who that is. I'm joking. I'm joking when I say that. But before Kevin could get in his car, Sami caught up with Kevin in the parking lot. Sami said to forget the bloodline. Forgive me if I hurt Hassan's feelings in live chat. I just didn't like him mentioning Rampage twice in the chat. I just didn't like him spamming the chat. He's lucky he's still here. He's lucky I'm letting him still hang out in the chat. He really is. For real. Sami said they're not only friends, but they're brothers. Sami told Kevin, I love you. Kevin calmly no-sold the conversation, got in his car, and drove off. Entrances for the next match took place. Michael Cole stressed that Rhea Ripley has brainwashed Dom Mysterio and turned him into a loser in life. The only AEW show I like is Dynamite. That's it. I'm no longer a fan of AEW, Dark Elevation, Dark, or Rampage. Now, Rampage, sometimes, not all the time. Judgment Day, Dominik Mysterio and Rhea Ripley versus Legado del Fantasma. Santos Escobar, the leader of Legado Fantasma, and Zelina Vega in a mixed tag team match. This was great. This was better than the 2-on-2 women's tag team match that we had got last night. Dom started the match right out of the gate with a drop kick and mounted punches. Escobar came back with flying forearms. Rhea Ripley tried to attack Escobar, but Escobar caught her kick per mixed tag rules. Vega came in the ring with a drop kick and basement Hurricane Rana. Rhea was dumped to ringside and hit by a triangle moonsault at ringside. The show cut to commercial. Dom pressured Escobar in the corner with forearms. Dom hit Escobar with a Gamenguri, whatever the fuck it is, jawbreaker and slingshot, swanton for a 2 count. Dom did the Eddie Guerrero shimmy, copying Eddie Guerrero's taunt that he used to do in his days in wrestling in the Attitude Era. Escobar gave, I'm thinking Escobar on commentary. You know, he's always on AEW commentary, so. Escobar, it sounds the same. Escobar sounds the same as Escobar a little bit. Sounds almost the same. Those two names do. Escobar gave Dom a drop kick. Escobar did the Eddie Shammy again and hit him with a guillotine. leg drop. So both men attempted pins. Their respective women broke the pinfalls up. Dom and Escobar crashed into each other midair. Wayne Barrett hyped up Zelina Vega, being one of the presenters of the 2023 Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Zelina tagged in and hit Rhea with a tornado DDT. Rhea hit Dom and Escobar in the corner with a Tower of Doom. Zelina hit Rhea with a crossbody and knee lift. Zelina hit Dom with a Dragon Run. Rhea Ripley caught Zelina from behind with the Riptide for the win. Dom took the mic and Cole said, "Oh no, he has a mic." So then Dom called out Rey Mysterio and called him a deadbeat. He called him a deadbeat dad, basically. This is K5. He didn't call him that for real. This is a father and son K5 storyline. Dominik is the actual son of Rey Mysterio. But this is K5. This is not real. He didn't actually call him that. This is scripted. Dom said there were so many sleepless nights. Dom's promo was cut off by the Titantron shown. The Titantron shown that basically the Titan throne shown that Rey Mysterio was walking over to the ring off mic. Rhea assured Dom that Rey will cave in. You have to excuse me, guys. I did just take my medicine not too long ago. It's kind of kicking in. I just got through eating waffles. I woke up. I kind of got up at 12. I kind of got up a little late, but it wasn't that late. Don't worry. I'm working on it. I'm working on trying to get up. I don't like to get up sometimes. I really don't. I ain't gonna lie to you. We had got a really good in-ring showing for everyone involved and the right amount of time to not overstay its welcome. Zelina hasn't always been the most flashy wrestler, but she was good here. Dom in particular is really benefiting from the heel turn because his greeter offense actually looks good. And he pretty much gets better every week. On to see Escobar as Rey's babyface, little buddy. Escobar is one of the smartest wrestlers that we've seen so far in WWE. I'm sure, and I'm sure you guys are watching, I'm sure you are sure that he'll make this work in his long-term storytelling. Listen, the main thing is that Vega looked good, had the fans on her side as she battled the bigger Rhea Ripley. That was one of the main things. The other main thing was the teases of an upset. It was fantastic. And the real main thing is that it was strong enough. It was a strong enough performance to those in power. To those in power that should consider giving the former Queen of the Ring more in-ring opportunities. So those were the main things there. Those were the main things there, man. And you know, a couple things to note here. Number one, it was that last move that spelled her downfall. As Rhea Ripley took advantage of the momentary distraction and delivered the Riptide for the pinfall victory. And another thing is that it was a harder fought victory that saw Judgment Day go over on their road to WrestleMania, but also really put Legado and Fantasma over as a threat on Friday nights. So this was a really good mixed tag team match coming out of Smackdown last night. Michael Cole hyped up the impending Sami Zayn and Jey Uso confrontation. Rey Mysterio. Booyaka, booyaka, 619. Booyaka, booyaka, or whatever. Rey Mysterio made his entrance to confront his son and Ripley. Samantha Irvin introduced Booyaka, booyaka, Rey Mysterio as an inductee to the 2023 WWE Hall of Fame. I find it funny how these geeks online still think that the Great Muta was inducted first into the Hall of Fame. The tips online, man. They still think that the Great Muta was inducted first into the Hall of Fame. No, he wasn't. The first inductee was Rey Mysterio. Oh my God, they're still on that shit, man. They still think that the Great Muta got inducted first. Oh my God, man. You guys are some fucking comedians, man. Really? Really? Wow. Wow, man. Some hilarious geeks online, man. Rey Mysterio asked Rhea if he could have a moment with Dom alone. Rhea stepped back into the corner. Dom asked Rey, where was he all those late nights? Dom said Rey took away his Mania moment. Dom said Rey is a sad and poor excuse of a father. Now, if he was a poor excuse of a father, he wouldn't be inducted into the Hall of Fame now, would he? He wouldn't be taking care of him like he is now, would he? I mean, I'm just saying. He doesn't look like an excusable father to me. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. He was about to call him a piece of shit. Then Rey cut off Dom and said it was enough. Rey said Dom was right. He hasn't always been the best. He's missed holidays, moments, football games. Rey said, despite all that, I love you. Rey said, Dom was Rey's word, or Rey's world, should I say. So he was Rey's world, basically, and Rey said Dom will find out that the business is selfish, and he had to survive in order to give Dom, his mom, and his family everything Rey could ever dream of. Rey talked about giving Dom all the luxury he wants, and how he has always bailed Dom out of trouble. Oh, wow. Didn't think I'd hear the word bail Dominik out of trouble. Didn't think I'd hear that. Didn't think I'd hear that coming out of his father. Rey started to choke up and sob. He said he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. This hurts. Rey said he would want nothing more than to have Dom stand by him on the stage, basically. Rey soaked in "You deserve it" chants from the crowd. Rey said it's maybe too late, but his greatest regret is what Dominik has become. Rey said someone like Dom, a disrespectful, ungrateful punk, as kid, if they called him out for a match at Mania, he would defiantly whoop his ass. Kick his ass. Chant ensued. A chant ensued. Rey said, unfortunately, he can't do that to his son. He said fighting Dom would be Rey's biggest disgrace as a father. Rey said Dom is not worth breaking morals. Rey said he won't fight Dominik now, ever, or at Mania. He walked away. Dom said Rey is doing what he does best. Run away. Running away from his own son. Eh? Dominik said Ray is just being a scared little man, something he taught Dom not to be. Ray continued to head to the back. Great stuff from this father and son feud. I am loving this. I really am. This is becoming one of the best storylines. Well, to me, it already is the best storylines. To me, it's already one of the storylines on Smackdown. One of the best storylines in WWE history, man. They are killing it. Dominik and Rey Mysterio are. Now, as a person who had a father who sacrificed it all to raise me and my family, I can really sympathize with Ray here. Anyone who has grown up with a family that can relate to this and maybe have either been Dom or know a Dominik, awesome stuff. Dom continues to be one of the most improved wrestlers in all of professional wrestling. Now, what I said is saying a lot about Dominik. He says all the right lines. All the goofy lines. All the bratty lines. He's great. This and the opening promo are very, very similar to that. They are hitting natural fails or paddles while also leaving the viewer hanging on every word for Ray to finally challenge Dominik, for Kevin Owens to finally accept Sami. When that finally happens, when Dominik versus Rey Mysterio finally gets official, it is going to tear the roof off the place. It's going to be a damn good match. It's going to be one of the best matches on a WrestleMania 39 card. They are going to get so over with the crowd, it's not even going to be funny. In the end, Rey Mysterio is going to come out as the winner at WrestleMania 39. So be on the lookout for that because Rey Mysterio is winning. Dominik is losing. Dominik's definitely losing. And if Dominik loses, that means he could leave Judgment Day and go back to Rey Mysterio, or Judgment Day could just turn on Dominik Mysterio after WrestleMania, and we could see Dominik Mysterio going back to his babyface gimmick. We'll have to see when WrestleMania gets here, man. We'll see, man. Drew McIntyre and the Brawling Brutes were shown warming up in different parts backstage. Michael Cole, Wade Barrett checked in on commentary. Barrett announced that there will be a WrestleMania showcase match, whatever the hell that is, and that the next match will be a qualifier match. Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez made their entrance. Now, this is a match that a lot of people didn't really give a shit about. I mean, I kind of don't blame them, but this was somewhat okay. I give this a C, though. At least I'm not giving it a D or an F. If I gave it a D or F, I'd be shitting all over this match. But the match was not bad, man. It really wasn't. It's not bad as people are bringing it up. So just relax. That's what I have to say. And let me go over this 2-on-2 women's tag team match. Gonzalez slammed Knox into the corner. Hassan probably wish I was saying that about Rampage. Well, I'm not. Liv hit Knox with a Shining Wizard for a 2 count. I have Liv Morgan and Tegan Knox versus Emma and Raquel Rodriguez instead. I mean, Liv Morgan and Tegan Knox have matching gear on the internet. I don't know if you guys looked up Liv Morgan, but if you look up Liv Morgan WWE 2023 PNG and Tegan Knox 2023 PNG, you'll notice that they have the same attire, except for Liv Morgan's is black and yellow and hers is Tegan Knox is red velvet. Red, violet, and yellow. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. Where did I get red velvet from? We're not talking about red velvet from AEW. I don't know where my mind's at. Emma tagged in and hit Liv in the corner with an Emma meat sandwich. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Whatever that's supposed to be. Liv hit a cannonball, basically. Knox and Emma cut the ring in half on Liv, while Liv continued to do her whole whatever she did. Liv caught Knox with a backstabber and tagged in Gonzalez for a hot tag. Now, Raquel caught Emma with a corkscrew Vader bomb. Liv Morgan hit Knox with a cold breaker. That was a good cold breaker by Liv Morgan, by the way. He called it a red breaker, really, to be honest. I don't know why he called it a red breaker. He should have called it a cold breaker instead. That would have made more sense. That would have sounded a lot better coming out of him on commentary. Rodriguez blocked move from Emma. Rodriguez hit Emma with a Chingana bomb. They call it the Chahana bomb, really, to be honest. That's what they call it. Liv hit Emma with Oblivion for the win. Cole clarified that this win was for the spot in some random as fatal four-way tag team match at WrestleMania. I don't know why we're getting that. Nobody's going to be watching. In the end, nobody's going to be watching that. Everybody's going to boo this match in the end. I don't think, you know what? I think people could just care less about this WWE Women's Tag Team title match. And you know what I care less about? Omos versus Brock Lesnar, because that's going to be the only worst match on the card. The Women's Tag Team match will be somewhat okay. At least it'll be better than Omos versus Lesnar. I will say that. Charlotte Flair made her entrance in a yellow strapped, skin-tight bodysuit. The 2-on-2 women's tag team match, by the way, guys. My thoughts on this match, it was way too short. Way too fucking short. Way too short. And you know, it's an issue that faces many of these qualifying matches that are meant to be a high stakes, but are ultimately more predictable than not, thanks to booking trends. Unfortunately, expect more of the same as WWE fills the 3 remaining women's spots and all 4 men's in the coming week or so. Jesus Christ. I feel like bumping my head on a fucking wall. I don't think anybody's going to care about this women's tag team match. At least it'd be better than Brock versus Omos. I mean, that's the only thing you'll hear coming out of me. On a positive note, props to Liv Morgan, who worked her tail off to get better, become champion, and one of the most popular stars in the division. And now she has well-earned spot on the WrestleMania card. Good for Liv Morgan. Congratulations. Congratulations. But you know what I feel like? I feel like Paul Levesque and his crew have thrown in the towel on the women's undercard for now. Sounds like a Vince McMahon thing. Sounds like something Vince McMahon does. Sounds like something Vince McMahon is telling Paul Levesque and his crew to do. Which is understandably heading to WrestleMania season without developed character, which is not good. Hunter has done them right in the past. There's no doubt that he can fix things after Mania when he presumably shakes up the rosters. Hopefully a draft happens because, my God, WWE needs a fucking draft. Really bad. The brand splits need to end, man. Like, seriously. These rosters are just not, they're not in the right positions, man. They're not good. The rosters don't look good to me. The rosters need to be fixed. They're not looking good. They don't look good right now. They look absolutely horrifying. The worst if I've ever seen the rosters. They look the absolute worst I've ever seen. The worst I've ever seen these rosters, man. I'm telling you. You're probably not going to hear this from me every so often, but it's that bad. Hopefully, after Mania, a draft will happen. And hopefully, after the draft, the rosters will be fixed enough to where people will say, hey, this roster is decent enough to give us compelling storytelling and good television. That roster is freaking good enough to where it can give us good action and more amazing segments or whatever. You know, I just hope they do a draft. I just hope the brand splits in. We want to see better rosters. We don't want the rosters looking all horrendous garbage and all that. No, that's not what we want to see. We want all the talents to succeed. We don't want them to get buried and used like how Vince McMahon did his talent when he was in charge. He was in charge as a chairman of WWE when he was in creative control during his time in WWE when he was in charge. All Vince did was bury and waste talent and release them from the company because they got no plans. Yeah, right. Give me a break. That's because Vince McMahon is fucking terrible. Is fucking terrible at his job as chairman. That's because Vince McMahon is terrible as head of creative. His creative and Bruce's creative is the absolute worst I've ever seen. That's why I'm glad Vince is not taking control of creative. I'd rather see Triple H have control of creative than Vince. I'm glad Triple H has control of creative. I'm sure he'll work things out with the women's rosters, man. He'll fix the women's rosters in the coming months, hopefully. Hopefully a little bit after WrestleMania. I'm hoping. These rosters need fixing, man. Badly. They do. But I'm pretty sure what entertained you guys the most from the match is Cole continuing his missed call, the code breaker. This must be a jab at Chris Jericho, I'm guessing. I don't know. The man who invented the name back in his breaking the code days in the Attitude Era. Cole hyped up the Jay and Sami confrontation again. You love to see it. Charlotte started her promo with the more things change, the more they stay the same. The talked about growing up always sees a Rose as a challenger and Flair as a champion, or Rhea as a challenger and Flair as a champion. Charlotte said it was that in the past that in the upcoming Mania, she said she's always been a star. Yeah, right. Flair said Ripley wants to be a star and champion. I can believe that. Rhea Ripley's already a star in my eyes. Charlotte Flair, no, not so much. She can't be the star and champion before going through Flair. Charlotte said Ripley couldn't go through her back. Then when Charlotte beat Rhea 3 years ago for the NXT Women's Championship, which was, by the way, one of the worst matches on that WrestleMania card. It was not good. It made Rhea Ripley look like a complete embarrassment, look like a complete jobber. Rhea was buried in that match. Absolutely out of the ordinary, out of nowhere, buried by Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard. And then they had no plans for her. She had the worst fucking year. She had the worst fucking run of her wrestling career that year when she lost to Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship. Now this year, she's having the best run of her career. Last year, she did too. I'm talking about in the pandemic. Her run during the pandemic, it was so bad that people stopped watching WWE effectively immediately because of Vince McMahon and Bruce is terrible creative in producing and writing. Vince and Bruce's writing and producing creative was the worst I've ever seen it. They continued to produce terrible television each and every week, and it was just getting so boring that I stopped watching it, that I stopped doing my wrestling reviews. When Vince and Bruce, as soon as Vince and Bruce took over WWE, I immediately stopped my Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Smackdown reviews. I immediately stopped reviewing the shows because the shows got worse, and I got tired of reviewing them. I had to stop. It was getting so nauseating. It was aggravating. I am so glad that Vince is not in charge anymore. I'm glad. I hope they keep him as far away from WWE as they can. But it seems like the more I feel like he's not in charge, the more I keep hearing news about Vince McMahon. The more aggravated, the more annoying I get. Please, for the love of God, this is the last time I'm going to say this. Vince McMahon as far away from WWE as he can. He is so demented. He does not care about women's wrestling. He does not care about men's wrestling. He doesn't care about the shows or the pay-per-views. He doesn't care about the creative writing and producing. He only cares about what he wants. He only cares about what he sees. He only cares about himself, his administration, his political ideas. That's the only thing he cares about. And the money. That's it. And he cares, most importantly, power. That's all he cares about. That's not good. That's not okay with me. That's not okay with the Vince McMahon haters. That's not okay to all the wrestling fans that dislike Vince McMahon and his creative. That's not okay. That's not okay at all. That's why I'm so glad Triple H is in charge of creative, because he does creative better than Vince McMahon as a whole. Hell, what if I tell you he does creative better than Impact? We all know Impact is fucking terrible, man. Impact Wrestling is one of the worst wrestling promotions to ever watch on Access TV. It is so terrible down there. Do not watch Impact. If you watch Impact, you are a complete idiot. I'm sorry. Nobody is watching that shit anymore. The only time everybody watched Impact was when Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, Booker T, Kurt Angle, and Hulk Hogan were on Impact. And Sting. That's the only time everybody watched Impact. Even when Jay Lethal was there. That's the only time everybody watched Impact. They're all not on Impact anymore. Ever since they left Impact, Impact was the drizzling shit. God awful. God awful from the word go, man. Now look how many fans they got in attendance watching Impact. They from what I hear, they only got like 10 or 11. Nah, nobody's watching that shit. Nobody gives a fuck about Impact. Fuck Impact, man. Seriously. Charlotte started her promo with the more things change. The more they stay the same. Charlotte said Ripley couldn't go through her back then when Charlotte beat Rhea 3 years ago for the NXT Women's Championship, which I said was one of the worst matches on the WrestleMania card. Ripley, Dominik made their entrance. Dom stayed in the corner. Well, I didn't, Hassan. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear about it no more. I've already went over that. I already talked about that. I don't want to see it in the live chat. I don't even want to see the word Impact in my life, Jack. I don't. Impact is horrendous garbage. I'd take the NXT Black and Gold brand over Impact. That's how bad Impact is. Rhea said she sees zero fear in Charlotte's eyes, and that pisses her off. Rhea said Charlotte is a 14-time champ for a reason. Hell, I even watched the yellow and white NXT brand than Impact. Jesus Christ, man. Rhea said she could give Flair all the credit in the world, but she wants and needs the SmackDown Women's title. She said she needs it to be a star, basically. Rhea said after Mania, Charlotte is going to learn to call her champion as well as learn to fear Rhea Ripley. Dom got in Charlotte's face and said that Mommy is going to beat her. That sounds evil coming from Dominik, man. Rhea slapped Charlotte to leave her on her back. Rhea left the ring and Charlotte got to her feet, basically. Charlotte attacked Rhea at ringside. Referees ran out to pull apart both women. The women managed to break out. Producers, Petty Williams, Kenny ran out to assist referees, and then the woman still escaped, basically. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley were going at it like flies, man. Jesus Christ. They were going at it like lions and tigers fight. You know what I'm saying? Charlotte gave one of the guards a Yakuza kick. Rhea tossed Charlotte over the table. Charlotte recovered, gave Rhea a senton from the table. Rhea and Charlotte continued to ignore the security and brawl. Reinforcement guards ran out to no avail. Rhea dumped Charlotte over the barricade with a tackle. The guards and Dom Mysterio managed to separate both women. Charlotte posed in the ring with the title. Rhea had to be held back from storming the ring. This was simple stuff. It was simply well done. It was a nice and very, very solid face-off. I wouldn't say it was decent, but it was solid enough. It was solid enough to lead into a brawl. It was a nice added touch as well. And by the way, the nice added touch was the multi-layered pull apart. I mean, we've seen this a ton of times, but we don't see it overdone as much as a few years ago. And hopefully the match will be great this time around, but from a creative standpoint. And it felt way colder than it should have given the participants, much like the Raw title match between Bianca Belair and Asuka. The match felt like it merely existed rather than being a legitimate main event worthy contest. It was a step in the right direction with 2 weeks of television left. There is still plenty of time for Flair and Ripley to pull the story up to their level. We got Xavier Woods versus LA Knight. The rivalry between New Day and LA Knight continued this week with Xavier Woods going it alone with his injured tag team partner, Kofi Kingston, against the heel known as LA Knight. One of the younger top heels in the SmackDown men's division. A competitive match concluded in a somewhat surprising fashion with the up, down, down host defeating Knight with the backwoods. Now he's a good guy who has appeared across brands, and based on the reaction of the audience, well, he is winning over fans. He is cocky, confident, has charisma for miles. He has good charisma for miles, man. He is a guy who could step into a feud at any given level right now and get over as either a babyface or heel. Either way. Now, why he has been so inconsistently utilized? Well, it's simple. Losing matches like this is a question for which there may be no logical answer, except for maybe one. Woods is the company's resident video game guru and hugely successful host, and he went over on the day WWE 2K23 was released. And speaking of 2K23, I am actually buying that game next week. So as soon as Monday get here, I am immediately, as soon as I get paid, I'm immediately buying that game. And I'm immediately letting it download on the way to work. I'm going to set my PS4 on rest mode. I'm going to let it download. Now, it feels strategic more than creative, which still does Knight no favors at all. I'm still going to have WWE 2K22. We're still going to go through the rosters on that game. I'm still going to be streaming that. We'll probably do some battles. We'll probably do some online battles on that game and on WWE 2K23. We'll see. I'll probably, if I have the time. But this was a very good match between Xavier Woods and LA Knight. It was better than Judgment Day versus Legado del Fantasma and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Emma and Knox combined. This match was. We got the No One Contenders match. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. I'd say this match was better than all three matches that I just brought up. With an opportunity to challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania at stake, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus rekindled their 2-decade-plus rivalry in the ring. Main event of Friday Night SmackDown. This was a great main event to end Friday Night SmackDown, man. Very, very good. I enjoyed this clash between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Easily another one of the best matches on this week's episode of SmackDown. And we easily got the best fucking ending to a SmackDown show. Ending to a SmackDown. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn hugging it out. We're going to go over that here in just a few minutes. Well, I want to go over this match. I want to go over what happened with this match between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. So, Cole hyped up the Sami Zayn confrontation once more. Knight was interviewed. He was interviewed by Kayla Braxton backstage. Once he was interviewed by Kayla Braxton, he brushed off Kayla and confronted Ray, who was signing autographs. Knight said he'd fight Dom for Ray. Knight made fun of Ray and said Ray can continue to be a deadbeat dad. Ray clocked Knight in the face, said something in Spanish, and walked away. Knight asked, "What the hell did he just say?" A sponsored video aired to recap. Now, the Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus match was formed. Entrances for the next match took place. Cole wondered if Sheamus would be lucky today due to it being St. Patrick's Day. Barrett noted that Ireland had just beat Scotland in a rugby league before the bell could even ring. Imperium made their entrance so Gunther could walk his title contenders up close. So once he want this title contenders up close, we got Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. McIntyre and Sheamus soaked in the moment for a bit. Drew wanted a handshake. Sheamus respectfully declined. Sheamus and Drew started the match with a collar and elbow stroke. Sheamus landed a shoulder tackle. Drew came back with a knee to the gut. Drew hit Sheamus with a snap suplex for a 2 count. Wayne Barron asked Ludwig Kaiser if he could talk to Gunther. At first, he refused, but Gunther agreed to put on a headset. Wade asked Gunther for his thoughts on both men. Gunther said Wayne is asked bad questions. Drew and Sheamus had basically exchanges, Paul interrupted Gunther, berating Barrett by calling Drew's Minotaur driver for a 2 count. Both men traded stiff strikes in the ring. Sheamus hit Drew with an Irish curse backbreaker for a 2 count. Drew blocked Sheamus's 10 beats. Sheamus blocked Drew, trying to replicate the move. Sheamus lifted up Drew, but Drew escaped. Sheamus caught Drew in the corner with a big boot. Sheamus deadlifted himself to the top rope from the mat. Drew crushed Sheamus and got to the top rope. Drew hit Sheamus with a superplex, heading into the break. Sheamus hit Drew with a sit-out body slam for a 2 count. Sheamus hit Drew with a jawbreaker and managed to get all 10 of his beats in. Sheamus tuned up for the bro kick, but McIntyre ducked it and reversed it with a net breaker into a kip up. So once that happened, Drew counted down for his finisher, but Sheamus blocked it with a running high knee for a good near fall. Barrett noted that if Sheamus could have extended his leg, he would have hit a knockout bro kick. Sheamus and Drew traded stiff right hands. Drew hit Sheamus with a headbutt, and Sheamus rebounded with a knee. Both men used the corners to get to their feet. Both men hit each other with a claymore and rolled at the same time. Gunther entered the ring to yell at the referee because he didn't want a double count out. Gunther admonished Drew and Sheamus in the ring and asked, who was it going to be? Sheamus and Drew put Gunther into the corner. Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser jumped Drew and Sheamus from behind to lead to the apparent DQ. Gunther hit McIntyre with a shotgun dropkick and Sheamus with a lariat. So the match between Drew McIntyre and Sheamus ended a DQ, by the way. Gunther put McIntyre on all fours and powerbombed Sheamus onto him. Gunther walked an Imperium up the ramp. He was stopped by Adam Pearce on the Titan throne. Pearce said he's left with no choice now. Gunther will face both Drew McIntyre and Sheamus at WrestleMania with the title on the line. Gunther, Kaiser, and Vinci didn't like the decision. Jey Uso was shown heading into the ring from the back. Mixed thoughts here. The match was good and short enough to be a good preview as to what to expect from both men when given more time. I don't see why they want with the double DQ finish thought. I thought the double finisher would have worked better, as it would have not been a wrestling finish. We see Gunther proved their heat after the match by beating up both falling opponents. Rey Mysterio versus LA Knight was advertised for next week. Jey Uso made his entrance first. Before he could say anything, Sami Zayn made his entrance. Sami said, "This is exactly what Jey wanted, my dog, my Uzi." Sami said, "He's here." He made the pull up. Sami asked Jey how they should do this. Jey said from day one, he didn't like Sami. He didn't trust Sami, and he didn't want Sami around his family. Jey said then they started to like Sami. Jimmy, Solo, the wise man, Heyman, and even Roman, but not Jey. Jey said he's tried to protect his family and home for years. But Sami walked up on him and made him look stupid in front of the whole world. Made him look stupid by finally winning Jey over. Jey emotionally said that he thought of Sami as a brother. Jey said he figured it out now, and Sami has always been a fake-ass goose. Sami said Jey is lying about not having a choice, but Jey had the choice to not side with Roman. Sami said he loved Jey and the bloodline. Sami said Jey isn't mad at Sami, but mad at himself. Sami said Jey is just mad that it wasn't Jey who hit Roman in the back with a chair. Jey hung his head to soak the moment. A "you're not Uzi" chant ensued. Jey fired up and threw right hands at Sami. Sami turned the tables and got the upper hand with right hands. Jey ran out to allow he and Jey to get the numbers advantage. Jey hit Sami in the face with the metal steps. Suddenly, Kevin Owens' theme song played. Jimmy and Jey expected Kevin to come from the ramp, but Kevin came through the crowd wearing a hoodie. Kevin stormed the ring and attacked both the Usos from behind. Kevin dumped Jimmy at ringside and put the boots to Jey when Jimmy tried to get back in the ring. He hit Jimmy with a Stone Cold Stunner. Kevin Owens did. Kevin pointed Jey with a pop-up powerbomb. Kevin and Sami were left alone in the ring, with both men soaking it in, hugging it out. Chants echoed in the arena. Once more. Kevin took his time, but eventually embraced his longtime friend. The camera cut to Cody Rhodes getting emotional and watching the moment from the back. The camera cut back to Kevin and Sami standing tall while the Usos stood on the ramp. Michael Cole closed the show by saying that Kevin and Sami are back. This was not surprising to me at all. A totally well done moment to get the anticipated Usos versus Kevin and Sami title match at Mania. The Usos versus Sami and Kevin is going to be a good match for WrestleMania 39. It's going to be a good undisputed tag team match. Everyone shines in these promo segments from the players in the story. Jay continues to astonish me that he becomes the main event player from the Usos. He continues to astonish everybody that's a fan of him. He's so good on the mic. He's so good on the mic when he gets fired up. He also speaks like a regular person, which makes him reliable. What makes a lot of these blood-like segments work is the deep battles, the deep emotion, the relatable emotion that these segments get into. Not only that, but they always end up in big climax moments, like Sami and Kevin hug. Like Sami and Kevin's hugs here. I also feel like they've done a decent job utilizing Cody in the mending the fences between the two longtime friends from Montreal, Canada. Cody has missed out on a lot of character development during his time off. So it was a nice and swift way to make him come off as a wholesome dude. I thought they did their best with the short amount of time they had. This week's show was a really good road to WrestleMania type of show. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys thought, and what I thought were the strongest parts were the moments of the patient Ray and Dom storytelling, patient Sami and Kevin storytelling. The rest of the show was good too, and forwarding things. The one thing that stood out to everybody, I'm sure, the one thing that stood out to me as well, was the random women's tag team match. It was somewhat okay, but it definitely stands out. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is finally going to do it for your Smackdown review. You guys enjoyed it? Let me know in the chats or in the comments when the stream ends. Hit the thumbs up. I'm going to take a 2-3 minute break real quick. I'm trying to text my mom, see if she could bring something to eat back. So I'm getting hungry. I'm getting really dizzy. I need to eat something. So I'm going to take a break. Take a 2-3 minute break. When I come back, it'll be time for your WWE AEW Saturday afternoon news. Then I'm going to, once I finish giving you guys your WWE AEW Saturday afternoon news, I'm going to get off and probably relax a little bit and then get ready for work. Because my head feels like it's kind of spinning a little bit. And that's not a good thing. And that's not good at all. That's because I only ate breakfast this morning and my medicine kicked in. Now all of a sudden I just feel kind of just off a little bit. I will be back in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. Your WWE is coming next year on our YouTube channel. after the break. I'll be right back after the break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your WWE and AEW Saturday afternoon news. I feel so mentally drained. I got up a little late, took my ass in late again. God help me, man. I've been through a lot. Ever since my father's passing, man, I haven't been the same. I really haven't. I've just been acting different, man. I've just been acting different. It's not like me to act different. Well, actually, it kind of is. I've always been like that. Especially at home. And what I got to deal with at home, man, it's so stressful. It's aggravating. It really is. That's why I say if people was in my life, they would understand exactly what I've been through and what I feel like I'm kind of still going through. Anyways, guys, let's get on with the WWE Saturday news first. Apparently, there's a rumor that there's news on WWE Hall of Fame 2023. There's some more news on that. I think I went over your WWE Hall of Fame news just Thursday morning, I think, when I was live with my Dynamite review. I could have sworn I went over that news on Rey Mysterio being inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was the first one to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I still kind of find it hilarious that the geeks online still think that the Great Muta was the first inductee. No, he wasn't. Rey Mysterio was the first induction into the Hall of Fame. I'm just here to clarify that again. In case anybody causes any confusion towards you. So there's some more Hall of Fame news, apparently. So there are some rumored inductees and potential members of the class. I wasn't sure how I wanted to say it. But there are some rumored inductees and potential members of the class. So let me go ahead and find that piece of information so I can go over it with you guys. Dude, I am feeling so mentally drained. Like, my head is feeling so, like, out of place. My brain is just not, it's not operating straight. I had every reason to boot Hassan out the chat because he kept mentioning Rampage. And it was aggravating. He kept talking about Rampage, and I didn't want to hear about Rampage. I just don't care for Rampage right now. Man. Okay. Where is it? Because I'm about to get pissed off. I can't find it. What is going on here? Where is that freaking news article? Where is it? Because I can't seem to find it nowhere. And that's not good. There it is. There it is. I found it. I found it, guys. Okay, here we go. So here's this piece of information that I got and found. As far as the rumored inductees and potential members of the class goes. Let me trying to get some background music going here. Let's get this off of here. So Rey Mysterio was the first inductee into the Hall of Fame, class of 2023. 48-year-old luchador will be given legendary status by his friend Conan. He was followed by the Great Buddha, a Japanese wrestler who hasn't really wrestled in WWE, but his achievements have granted him a place in the Hall of Fame. Batista, a 6-time world champion, has been proposed for induction for the Hall of Fame for a few years now. He was set to headline the class of 2020 before the ceremony was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The only potential hindrance to the Animals induction is his hectic Hollywood schedule, whatever. Several notable figures are rumored to be inducted into the Hall of Fame 2023 class. Umaga, a former Intercontinental champion, tops the list. Fellow Samoan Rikishi has been pushing for Umaga's induction as he was a trendsetter for powerhousing techniques combined with agility. Former women's champion Michelle McCool is also rumored to be a highly anticipated inductee. Her husband, The Undertaker, was included in the 2022 class, and many believe 2023 class could be her moment. Her former rival, Stacy, is also reportedly about to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Stacy was a notable manager and performer during the Attitude Era. Fans have been pushing for the induction of China, the 19th wonder of the world, into the Hall of Fame for some time now. WWE recently paid tribute to the D-Generation X member, and it remains to be seen if the company will decide to induct her into the Hall of Fame. The WWE Hall of Fame is a way to honor the legendary warriors and personalities that have contributed to the success of the WWE with the class of 2023, shaping up to be a star-studded affair. Fans are eagerly anticipating the next inductees into the prestigious Hall of Fame. Who are you most excited to see inducted into the Hall of Fame 2023 class? Are there any notable wrestlers or personalities that you believe deserve the honor but haven't been inducted yet? Smackdown Go Home Show before Backlash is taking shape. It's taking place in Puerto Rico. WWE Backlash 2023 will mark the second time WWE held a premium live event to the Caribbean island. The last time WWE came to Puerto Rico was at the New Year's. See, I'm so missionary drained. My head is so out of place. I can't even fucking say the word years right. New Year's Revolution pay-per-view in 2005. The 2023 Backlash is slated to take place at the Coliseum de Puerto Rico, Jose Miguel Aguirre, or whatever the fuck his name is, on May the 16th. May the 6th, not 16th, excuse me. God, I need to eat something, dude. I need to stop taking my medicine late, start taking it early. Because if I keep taking it late, it's just going to go on and on and on. Now I'm going to be feeling the same way over and over again. The premium live event will also see Bad Bunny make a return to WWE in his home country. After an overwhelming number of pre-sale tickets, WWE has decided to give its Puerto Rico fans a treat with the Go Home Smackdown taking place at the same venue as Backlash. WWE made an announcement today in conjunction with the Puerto Rico Convention Center District Authority, excuse me, PRCDA, and the Puerto Rico Tourism Company. It says here, and I quote, Stamford, Connecticut, Business Wire, following the high volume of Backlash ticket pre-registration for the Saturday, May the 6th event in St. Juan, WWE today announced that Smackdown will also be headed to Puerto Rico that weekend. Smackdown will emanate from the same venue of Puerto Rico. The announcement was made in conjunction with the Puerto Rico Convention Center District Authority and the Puerto Rico Tourism Company. The PRCDA and the Puerto Rico Tourism Company have a phenomenal track record of delivering large-scale events to the island. Hold on, I got a phone call, guys. I'll be right back. Hold on. Hold on a second. All right, I'm back, guys. We're going to continue. I had got a phone call. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. So as I was saying, as I was reading, it says that the Puerto Rico Tourism Company have a phenomenal track record of delivering large-scale events to the island, said John Porco, WWE Executive Vice President, Live Events. Their partnership and support have allowed WWE to bring not just one, but two nights of sports entertainment to Coliseo, the Puerto Rico Joe's Miguel Agrilit this May. Puerto Rico is a world-class entertainment destination. We have proven ourselves time and time again by hosting worldwide known and recognized events. Our unique Venice provide the perfect setting to receive our visitors and to grant them an incredible experience. We are proud and very excited to host one of the most anticipated events of this year, said Marella Valines, Executive Director of the Puerto Rico Convention District Authority. Puerto Rico is a re-owned, successful host of sporting events due to its state-of-the-art modern infrastructure, air and sea accessibility, variety of accommodations, experienced production staff, and its warmth and hospitality. Events such as WWE's Backlash and Smackdown provided a great venue to showcase the island's assets, both as a diverse travel destination and an ideal location to hold international events such as this, said Carlos Marcado Santiago, exclusive director of the Puerto Rico Tourism Company. Hosted by two-time Grammy Award-winning and global recording artist Bad Bunny, Backlash marks the first WWE Premium Live event to take place in Puerto Rico since January 2005. An exclusive pre-sale opportunity for combo tickets for Friday Night Smackdown Backlash will be available this coming Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. TicketEra.com. Fans can register now to receive an exclusive pre-sale offer by visiting www.wwe.com/backlash pre-sale registration. General public on sale for combo tickets will be available this coming Tuesday, March 21st at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. TicketEra.com. It is unknown whether Bad Bunny would be making an appearance at the Go Home Smackdown for Backlash. What my good friends Ringside News do know at this point is he wouldn't miss his upcoming return at Backlash. That's what they know. That's what they say. What's y'all's take on this story? Ric Flair is apparently on the fire as ex-WWE manager accuses him of stealing $300,000. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of fucking money. I'm feeling kind of numb, and even I know that $300,000 is a lot of money, man. I mean, that's too much to be taken. Although the feud seemed to be coming to an end, Flair reignited it on his To Be the Man podcast, asking Mantel to keep his opinions to himself. This resulted in Mantel throwing major accusations at Flair on his Facebook account, including claims of lying, not paying taxes, being in debt, and being sued for non-payment actions. Says here, and I quote, Rick, there is a huge difference between us. And before you get to how much money you made versus me, I'll coincide that point. Yes, you made a lot of money. Yes, you made a hell of a lot of money than I did. But I think along the way, I've never been accused of lying, not paying taxes, borrowing money from friends to pay said taxes, and not paying them back. Plus, arrested for domestic violence. Only seriously hollow people do that. It would seem that after all this, you should have learned something, but at last not. And quote, Dutch Mantel did issue a challenge to Ric Flair, inviting him to an online debate via Zoom to discuss his past. He suggests they charge $1 per view and donate the proceeds, should I say, to charity. He continues to say, if you want, let's have an actual debate via Zoom about you and me and your past. We'll charge $1 a view and donate it to charity. Let's debate the truthfulness of your life instead of just your opinion on people like me. Critically, your last match, which by the way hasn't changed. Before I go, Rick, I've got to thank you for making me a bigger presence. Thank you for making me a bigger presence on social media than I was. My Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram has gained a lot more followers. So have a great day. Drank about 12 beers, had a few tequila shots, and watched some old videos from Jim Crockett Promotions. When you were actually good about 40 years ago, one question, what does it feel like to literally steal $300,000 from wrestling fans on your last match? End quote. Despite the heated exchange, Flair claimed that he liked Dutch Mantel and that there were no hard feelings between them. In his response, Mantel ended by saying he still loved the 16-time world champion. One fan asked another fan, did you see Flair's last match? The other fans replied, I fucking hope so. See you, Niche. No hard feelings, Rick, but the facts are the facts. Take care, sir. I still love you, Niche. Mantel wrote. This feud has generated a ton of interest among wrestling fans, with many following the exchange between the two wrestlers. As the story continues to develop, it is likely to generate even more interest and attention. What do you guys think of this ongoing feud between Dutch Mantel and Ric Flair? Do you think it's just a source of entertainment, or does it reflect the personal conflict that can arise in the wrestling industry? AEW received serious warning about adding another television show. Mike Storm opened up a big on his Figure 4 online show about AEW's situation. He also imparted some very wise advice that Tony Khan might want to keep in mind. After all, a third show for AEW would be taxing on fans to keep up. He says here, and I quote, you have something that's good and you want more of it. And then in a lot of ways, by having more of it, you burn it out. When it was just Dynamite, I never missed a show. I didn't miss a single one. As soon as they added Rampage, I started missing Rampage and I started missing Dynamite. Dynamite's rating just dropped after they added Rampage. And if they're going to add a third show, it's like so much content. Yeah, quote, Lance Storm has a lot of knowledge under his belt, but it's uncertain if Tony Khan is looking for any advisement right now. Only time will tell what AEW decides to do. But Tony Khan seems going to open up as many hours as he can for AEW programming. What is y'all's take on AEW adding another television show? Does Tony Khan need to chill out? I think he does. I think he kind of does need to chill out. We don't need a third show on TV. Please, cut the crap. Scrap that. Scrap the third show. Forget about it. We don't need a third show. It's enough you got Rampage, Dark Elevation, and Dynamite running. We don't need all that. It's too much. It's too much shows. Way too much shows. No more shows. Let's focus on Dynamite. And not focus on starting a third show. Ric Flair owes former Ring of Honor owner $41K in unpaid personal loans. Got some more news on Ric Flair to go over. Ringside News previously reported that Ric Flair is in the hole for $300,000. Dutch Mantel sent out a scathing message to let everyone know how much the Nature Boy really owes him. Now, Kairi Silken logged in to confirm the story that Dutch Mantel said about Ric Flair. In fact, Flair owes Silken around $41,000 of his own personal money. It says here, and I quote, unfortunately, every word that Dutch Mantel is accusing Ric Flair of is true. Well, let me rephrase that from my own experience. I am personally owed $41K by Flair for non-appearances back in 2009, where I was foolish enough to pay him up front when I owned him, Ring of Honor. Then it continues to say, it's so sad that one of my wrestling heroes turned out to be such a lowlife. When they pursued trying to get the money, it was referred to an excellent lawyer in Charlotte, North Carolina. The lawyer told me, don't bother. I don't want to take any money from you because you're going to be a 100 online to get nothing. So that's basically what he told him. So we had to see if Ric Flair pays up. He has a lot of money, and even more is coming in thanks to his cannabis endorsement deals. Only time will tell if he could find that extra $41K around to repay Kairi Silken. What's y'all's take on Ric Flair owing that kind of money? Would you loan your friend that kind of dough? Let me know in the live chat. Man, that's a lot of money, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Wow. That's a lot of money to be owing Dutch Mantel. That's for sure. Only Ric Flair knows what to do about that. Gary Cross says Triple H is everyone's favorite boss. Well, no shit. He's good at what he does as head of creative. He's a chief content officer. And he's going to be the next chairman in WWE. That's if Vince McMahon doesn't take over again. And doesn't start firing Triple H and his administration again. Triple H took over the creative aspect of WWE after Vince McMahon had to retire for a few months. Fans were very glad about the fact as Triple H brought about a lot of changes that they loved. While speaking on Out the Character with that emo fuck, Ryan Satin, Karrion Kross talked about his return to the company and working under Triple H. Kross stated that Triple H is everyone's favorite boss. It says here, and I quote, I wasn't apprehensive at all. I wasn't apprehensive, says Kross. And then he goes on to say that 99% of your success in this industry comes down to your ability to compose yourself under stress and pressure. I knew coming back what I felt I should say. I felt better with myself in terms of feeling confident to shoot down an idea of a theme or a project that I knew would work. On top of that, the NXT run that they gave me, it was a murder run. They literally had me clean out everybody and everything. Complete clean kills on everybody. I had no reason to believe that anyone or anything would become weird or not work out or something like this or something like that. This is the one thing they're asking me to do that I'm not totally 100% on. How foolish would it look? The one time they asked me to do this thing, if I said no, all of that was in my head at the time. Coming back, I didn't have any of those things to be worried about out there. Outside of WWE financially, my wife and I were good. And we were having fun and working on different projects. We've always loved working for Hunter. He's like the easiest boss that I've ever had in terms of being accessible to discuss ideas with. On the flip side, he may not tell you this, but excellence is expected. He has a high standard for all of his talents to meet. He's easy to talk to and everybody's favorite boss. We do that he expects us to bring it. That brings out the best version of all of us. And it is one of the main reasons people like to work with him. When we have a show, he's out there at ringside with everybody and doing everything. We're very lucky to have that. Karrion Kross had been feuding with Rey Mysterio after targeting the master of the 619 a while ago. We'll have to wait and see when Karrion Kross will be punished to the main event scene on Friday night Smackdown. What's y'all's take on what Karrion Kross said? Is Triple H the best thing for WWE? Set off in the comments. Okay, man. Moving on to your next WWE Saturday Night News. Let me see. So apparently WWE is cutting costs for WrestleMania 39 preparation. All right, I got to find that real quick, guys, because it's not showing up anywhere on the screen. There it is. So WWE cuts costs for WrestleMania 39 preparation. Now, Ringside News exclusively reported that it has been pretty crazy for WWE in the past few weeks, especially with everyone in confusion about how few staff is being brought to LA for Mania. It seems that WWE is making a lot of cuts, even when it comes to spending on staff. We were additionally told that a lot of people won't be making the trip. More not than are. It was made especially clear that there are a lot more people who are not going to SoFi Stadium for WrestleMania 39. WWE is undergoing a lot of change right now on both screen and behind the scenes due to the company's preparations for a sale. This is also a crucial period for them. A report from PW Insider states that WWE's approach to WrestleMania 39 has been significantly different compared to recent years. Johnson himself feels this may be an attempt to show prospective bidders the sleekest, strongest WWE they can. The WWE is reportedly planning to meet with interested buyers in April for first round bids, according to a story from last week. This is fueling the narrative that the company may be up for sale. Even when those bids do come in, there is currently of a sale. There is no certainty of a sale. There's no certainty of a sale. WWE is expecting to maximize the show's profit within the constraints. As a result, some previously scheduled events for Mania weekend have been completely scrapped. Additional employees had to work remotely from the Stamford, Connecticut offices while the exhibited was going on right now. While it was going on. Also, rather than flying and attending, international announcers scheduled to call the action will do so from their homes. We'll have to wait and see how the sale process is affected by the aftermath of WrestleMania 39 with WWE's approach to streaming costs. What's y'all's take on WWE cutting down costs for WrestleMania 39? Roxanne Perez was back to training the day after fainting in the ring. Kind of what I feel like I'm going to be doing in the next few minutes. A 21-year-old superstar faced Miku Satomura at the Developmental Brands Roadblock event on March the 7th, 2023. Defending her NXT Women's title, the NXT Women's Champion retained the title after a grueling and intense match between the two. Perez's joy, however, was short-lived when she passed out inside the ring. Booker T, Shawn Michaels, WWE officials, medical workers, Satomura were seen escorting her out to the ambulance while she was stretched out of the location and taken into a medical facility. Now, it is uncertain if the champion will be able to defend her title at Stand Delivered. Roxanne Perez lost her composure in the ring and had to be carried out at the end of the show after defending her title. The most recent report from WWE came over the weekend. It stated that she was recuperating at home. However, Dave Meltzer said during Wrestling Observer Live that Roxanne was back to training the very next day. It says here, and I quote, so here's the deal. Jacy Jayne is out of action with a shoulder injury. So once he said Jacy Jayne is out of action with a shoulder injury, okay. He says she works the match with Gigi. That wasn't very good. So yeah, you can't work a match with certain injury. But with Roxanne, she didn't really faint. That was all fake. She worked a long match with Miku Satomura, and the key is to me is she also was training the next day. So if she had something that might be an injury that needed to be looked at, that was well blanketed by Booker T, saying that they were longer and things might not be able to get much worse or anything like that. So who knows what they are going to do? I'm still stuck on what creative could have been first when it came to this egg. End quote. Multiple legends have criticized the new generation of pro wrestling for not breaking their kayfabe on many occasions. This topic has always been debatable, as New Age fans respect the wrestlers' personal choices, whereas the hardcore generation of pro wrestling fans quickly dismisses the no sale of kayfabe injuries in the business. However, Roxanne seems to have a bright future at the WWE. Only time will suggest how this whole angle plays out in the future. What is y'all's take on Roxanne breaking kayfabe? WWE isn't making any plans to change SmackDown commentary. Following Pat McAfee's return, he never showed up on WWE television. And fellow SmackDown commentator Wade Barrett also confirmed his position recently in an interview with the Daily Star. Wayne Barrett revealed that he and Cole will continue to do commentary for the foreseeable future. Says here, and I quote, as permanent as you can ever be in a role in WWE, historically, things have always been switched around and teams have been moved from here to there. And I'm not saying I'm going to be in the SmackDown hot seat for the next 10 years or anything like that. But in terms of the foreseeable, it's going to be me and Michael Cole going forward. And quote, Wayne Barrett also said that Pat McAfee has too many outside projects on his plate to be a full-time commentator, but he will always remain a friend to the WWE. Then it continues to say that Pat McAfee is always going to be a friend of WWE. He's an incredibly talented guy, and we're all friends of his too. But he has a lot on his plate. I am sure he'll come in and out from time to time be involved in various roles, but as far as I'm aware, he's not going to be sat in the SmackDown hot seat, for now at least. It says here that while it's sad that Pat McAfee will not be a part of WWE programming in the near future, it is in the product's best interest to have consistent teams every week. What's y'all's take on SmackDown's commentary team? There's some bad news on Pat McAfee's return to WWE. The Wrestling Observer Radio noted that WWE currently has zero plan to bring back Pat McAfee. This came after he sat on the commentary table for the Royal Rumble event. Says here, and I quote, Wayne Barron is the official permanent SmackDown announcer as of right now. There are no plans for Pat McAfee to return. Hopefully, Pat McAfee will still come back to WWE for one reason or another. He is a fantastic talent on the commentary table, but the company's impending sale makes him hesitant about coming back. That being said, Pat McAfee is still good friends with Michael Cole and a few other people within the company, since he has a good relationship and nothing is ended on bad terms, basically. He might just come back to wrestle again, as he recently teased. Do you miss seeing Pat McAfee in AEW? Should he come back for SmackDown anyway? WWE. They are planning a 2 multi-team tag matches for WrestleMania card. I don't understand why they're planning on doing that. What's the meaning of WWE planning a 2 multi-team matches or whatever? WrestleVolts dropped a report that said WWE is set to announce 2 more 4-way matches for WrestleMania card. It seems that they will do one for the men and another for the women. Why though? Why? It says here, and I quote, I'm told 2 additional matches are coming to the WrestleMania card. Both men's and women's 4-way tags. The men's lineup is currently scheduled as Profits versus Academy versus Viking Raiders versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Braun Strowman and Ricochet are not really a tag team, they're paired up tag team. Just so you know. End quote. Thought I'd let you guys know that. Guess we'll have to see what WWE does with the WrestleMania card and what type of women's tag match they will book. What's y'all's take on the WrestleMania 39 card? I can't believe Vince McMahon is still pushing for a fucking dumbass sale. Makes no fucking sense. Moving on to your AEW Saturday afternoon news. We don't have much. Stu Grayson provides medical update on Evil Uno during AEW Rampage. Evil Uno's status was revealed by the commentary team during Dynamite this past Wednesday. Escobar told fans Evil Uno was rushed to a local hospital with Stu Grayson by his side after the match on Dynamite. As revealed by Grayson during Rampage, the concussion stemmed from the Blackpool Combat Club's beatdown of Uno. Evil Uno was part of the 6-man tag team match against the Blackpool Combat Club. Uno was assaulted by John Moxley after the match. John Silver and Alex Reynolds came to the aid of their friends during the post-match brawl, forcing the Blackpool Combat Club members to exit the ring. What's y'all's take on this story? Last but not least, finally, I finally get the hell out of here. An AEW Tag Team title match and more added to next week's AEW Dynamite. AEW announced that the Guns, Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn, will defend their tag team titles against Top Flight, Darius Martin and Dante Martin, next Wednesday on Dynamite. Plus, Stu Grayson will go one-on-one with Jon Moxley. Grayson revealed Moxley and his Blackpool Comic Club friends delivered a concussion on Evil Uno after their trios match this past Wednesday on Dynamite. Tony Storm versus Sky Blue was announced for the show next week as well. March 22nd, 2023 episode of Dynamite will emanate from the Cable Dahmer Arena in Independence. I heard what is y'all's take on this story? Let me know. That's going to do it for your WWE and AEW Saturday afternoon news. I'm getting the heck out of here, man. I've been on here for too long. I need to get off and eat. Have a good Saturday afternoon. I'm getting out of here. Have a good Saturday afternoon. And I might see you guys tomorrow. I might be streaming some games tomorrow. I don't know. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm getting out of here, man. See you guys later.